Yeah, so I'd heard the rumours about him potentially leaving and Enzo Maresca coming in, but until this sort of week had come in where it was starting to feel a bit more official, you're just never too sure. And I think if he was to leave, it would be a huge blow for all City. And I think in some ways, it's very interesting the timing of it in sort of the history of the Premier League as well, because you've got him leaving, you've got, say, people like Herrera, you've got Arne Slot under pressure, you've got Chelsea bringing in a new manager. So it's a season of real significant change where after a decade, you have that continuity in terms of knowing what to expect from a side and what you would expect more often than not is a side that would compete for basically every title throughout the season. Wouldn't necessarily win them all, but definitely would do that. So I think for him to leave, it is a big blow, but there's no way I thought he'd be at City for 10 years, the majority of his managerial career, and then in some ways be as successful as he has been, because when he first went to England, all the talk was tiki-taka football's not going to work here. His style of play is just not going to be functional to be successful in the Premier League. But instead he walks away, potentially walks away, not just being successful for City, but in some ways changing the way that people within England see football as well.
Does Maresca get you excited?
Get me excited. You keep asking me some really weird questions, Dan, but what I would say is...
I think it's a fair question. Like, Maresca, are you dancing in the streets? Are you excited that he's coming?
Yeah, to be honest, I think that Shaka gets it. I think, to be honest, the fact that whoever would be coming in after Pep Guardiola would be very, very tough to replace, because obviously, no one expects it to be the same, but the standard's been raised so high that it'll be judged according to Guardiola's prior successes. And I think Maresca is somebody that has worked with Guardiola, so he has an understanding of what he was like on a day-to-day basis, because Maresca was an assistant when City won the treble in 2023. And Maresca has had the experience of going to somewhere like Chelsea where maybe the infrastructure isn't great and really good for coaches to be successful. So perhaps with the resources he has at City and the setup that he's seen before and knows well, maybe he can be successful. Maybe the Premier League's in a different position now to where you don't need to be getting 90 plus points to win a league title, as we've seen this year. And if that's to be the case, then Maresca, as far as all the managers in the league go right now, is probably as good as most of them, to be honest. So yeah, I guess it's fine.
Best of a bad bunch is what I'm hearing. Jules, does he have the gravitas to keep the big players in this squad? We're already hearing rumours of Rodri, maybe to Real Madrid. If someone comes knocking for Haaland, is someone like Maresca going to be able to have the ear of these players to keep them?
It'd be very interesting to see. He will have to step up in, it's very different. It's the step up from City, even more, from Chelsea, even more from his experience at Leicester, for example. So the key would be that first contact with the squad, with the players. I think Rodri, even if Pep had stayed, I think we kind of knew there was only 1 year left on his contract. If Real Madrid comes calling, it's hard to say no for him as well. Haaland is not going to go anywhere. Shaki neither, Doku neither, Semenyo neither. And if you look at the squad that Guardiola will leave Maresca, the two of the over 30s are Bernardo Silva and John Stones. They're also going. It's a young, super talented squad. Maybe not fully complete yet, but you expect City to go and spend some money this summer for Maresca. It's really good. If you're Maresca, you're very excited. And if you're the players, you are still going to be coached by a manager that, for some of them, most of them, already, you've worked with, albeit as an assistant, who's done a good job at Chelsea. And I know in the end, he was sacked, and that was a mistake. We know that. But before that, there was a lot of good things that he did, including the Club World Cup, obviously. So I think it's quite an exciting time if you're a City fan.
Are you as excited as Jules is, Frank?
Well, the thing is, when you have Pep Guardiola for 10 years, of course, it's going to be a disappointment. Any coach that you could get, because you had the best of the best. Even if the last 2 years you can have question marks about the tiki-taka not working anymore, but overall, you have the best coach in the world. So you can pick anybody else. It would have been a disappointment. So it's a good news that Maresca knows the house and that he's been good with Chelsea when he started and knows how Pep Guardiola used to work with the players. So as Jules alluded, some players will be more than happy to have him. But some players came to City because Pep Guardiola was there. And they can say, well, Pep is not there anymore, so I'm going to leave. And I'm thinking about Erling Haaland. That would be a real a question mark for him, whether he's going to stay or not. According to some other players like Rodri, Bernardo Silva leaving, maybe he will try to do the same.